Hello, my friends. Welcome to Melissa's Musings. I am Melissa Steele, real estate agent extraordinaire, and I am here to help you with your real estate needs and your mindset. And today we're talking about commitment and your word being truth, your word being gold, and how often do you potentially, not keep your commitments to not only people in your life, but maybe yourself. Maybe you are a lack of commitment keeper to people in your life, maybe yourself, maybe it's friends or family. But most often, we lack in this respect in regards to ourselves. We are always the first. Sorry, it's like very odd. My screen here is incredibly dark. And I'm not sure if that's what you guys are seeing as well. But anyways, let me know if you can see me. That would be great. If you guys can see me, give me some hearts. Give me some love. Give me some hearts. And if you're watching on the replay, please let me know. Let me know where you're watching from, you guys. So today, this really came up for me yesterday. Because for those of you that know me personally, either in business, in life, in friendship, whatever it is, whatever our relationship may be, those of you that know me know that my word is as good as gold. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to fucking do it. Like, no matter what stands in my way, what comes up, I'm absolutely going to do it, or I'm going to renegotiate my expectation. There's never a disconnect there. And if there is, please address it with me, because as far as I know, I don't have any drop balls on my table right now. And the reason that I am committed to doing that is because the second I let go of my commitment and maybe start slacking on the integrity of my word. Yes, Alex, integrity, that's right. If I start compromising the integrity of my word, everything else starts to be compromised. So for those of you that know me, know that I absolutely practice, preach, and embody how you do one thing is how you do everything. So those people around me, not only in my friend groups or my clients, or, this doesn't apply just to certain people. I know that some people that I know, that's a weird sentence. There are some people in my life, in my sphere, who navigate from the space of, I keep integrity in this area of my life, for example, work, but not in this area of my life, for example, relationship. You can't be doing that. There's no way that you can be totally in integrity in one area of your life, in one area of commitment, and totally out of integrity in another area. It just doesn't work, because that area that you're out of integrity on is going to end up seeping into every other area of your life. So, if you are truly treating your word as gold, optimal integrity, like what comes out of my mouth will absolutely become achieved, or I will show up at that time, or whatever the commitment is that I'm making in that moment, whoever I'm making it to knows without a shadow of a doubt that unless I'm like dead or in some serious accident, that what I've committed to is going to get finished or completed or renegotiated if I can't. And so when I operate in that capacity, what's beautiful is that it sets a standard for everybody else in my life to follow that level of integrity. So everybody in my sphere, because they can rely on me for the fact that my word is absolute gold, what comes out of my mouth will 100% be accomplished, or I will be communicating effectively in order to renegotiate. So because everybody in my sphere knows that about me, they in turn operate at that capacity. So the people that I know and that I get to hold accountable in my life, they give me their commitment via word. And if they break their commitment, or they're late, or they don't show up, or they're out of integrity with their word, I get to address it with them directly, communicate, like with direct communication, no resentment, and I address it head on. There's a student that I'm coaching right now, and I gave him, he's in the real estate field as well, and we were, one of the rules about ALA is that when you're in the program, you can't do business together. You can't exchange funds because things can get messy. The program is very intimate, very rigorous, and if you start doing business in that program, ALA, sometimes it can get messy. And so we were not doing business, but I was supporting him in something. And he had sent me a property he was trying to sell. He asked me if I had any buyers, and it was great. We were jiving. It was great. And what was interesting is I gave him certain commitments and got certain expectations from him, therefore gave those expectations to my colleagues, and because my word is gold, my colleagues were expecting a response by that time. And when the colleague that I was counting on to get me I was counting on his response time, he gave me an expectation, he didn't make it, I then was able to give him the feedback of, listen, man, if you want to do business in the future, this is what it gets to look like. It's very rigorous on my front. It's a 24-hour turnaround. It's a commitment. It's my word is gold. And I was very upfront with him about what that looked like on my end. And so about a day later, I get a call from him, and he was like, hey, Melissa, at the time I was really triggered when you gave me that feedback. And I realized because you're my coach and you love me, that you gave me that feedback. And so I had a major shift from it. And what I was given the opportunity to do was address the fact that I didn't give him that feedback because he's one of my students. No way. I give him that feedback because, and I was able to talk to him about this. I said, no, my friend, I didn't give you that feedback because you're one of my students at all. That was outside of the A-Light container. However, in a business capacity, if we're going to be working or have any future of working together, this is the way I manage my business. When I'm giving the expectation to one of my clients or a colleague, my word is gold. They're therefore expecting me to respond in that time. You not giving me the expectations I was expecting from you then reflects poorly on me. So therefore, that's not how I do business. And it was a huge wake-up call for him because there aren't a lot of people in his business right now who are giving him that feedback. Yet for me, it's how I manage my feedback or my business to a level of my standard and integrity, which is just up here. Like there is no compromising it. Absolutely not. One or two more times where that ball is dropped on his end and we no longer get to work together. And it's as simple as that. And he very well knows that. I've been incredibly upfront with him about it. There's no hard feelings whatsoever. I've been very clear on the expectations that I need from him if we get to work with each other. And now he knows how to best serve me should he choose to have that relationship. And it's beautiful. And therefore, and there's no resentment on my end for him not delivering what he promised to me. There's no resentment on his end. We've been upfront. We've been communicating. And it's beautiful. Alex, yes, absolutely. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Ooh, rising tide. I like it. Thank you guys all for tuning in and watching. There's so many of you out there, and I'm pretty sure my grandma right now is live for like the first time ever. Hi. Are you watching live? If so, give me some hearts. So ultimately, you guys, when I say something, my word is gold. And this was brought up and reiterated to me yesterday when I was coaching one of my students, because every time she declared something to me, something she absolutely wanted without a shadow of a doubt, there was this question mark on the end of it. So it was a declaration like, I'm going to raise $500 today. And there was a slight question at the end. And I was like, girl, tell me like you mean it. And I asked her a question. I said, how often do you have the words come out of your mouth, making a declaration without analyzing it first? So it could be completely outlandish, but making a declaration and then achieving that like no shit, a maniac on a mission, proving yourself that you can do it. And she doesn't do it very often. And for me, that's something I do all the freaking time. I just did it yesterday. I set the challenge to myself. I'm looking for my little notebook here. I'm like, where is it? Because I set the challenge for myself yesterday. I had an hour and a half of time. I had 90 minutes. And within that 90 minutes, I wanted it to be urgent and rigorous. And so I set the goal of raising $1,000 for Holistic Learning Sanctuary within that 90-minute time. And what I did was I created magic. In that 90 minutes. I was a maniac on a mission. I raised, I think I want to say $800 in that 90 minutes. I didn't hit my $1,000 goal. So in the hours following, as I was going to and from meetings, meeting with clients, being on the phone, I was able to source $200 more in donations as I was going, like doing follow-up texts and stuff and jumping on phone calls. And what was awesome was I hit the goal. It wasn't within the 90 minutes. I had to renegotiate my time, but I set a challenge for myself just for shits and giggles because I wanted to see if I could do it. It was a really unachievable amount for within 90 minutes, but I figured if I was going to shoot for the moon, I would land amongst the stars. And I did. Within like 90 minutes, I think I had raised like $800 in donations, and by the end of the night, I'm up to $1,100 plus. So because I set the intention of the declaration, because I was not leaving myself any back doors or allowing myself any renegotiation, I was committed as fuck to getting it done, and therefore I got it done. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It just was that. It was as simple as that. I set the goal, I was committed to the goal, and I got the goal done. And John and I do this in our life relentlessly. There are dozens of goals on my goal sheet that give John the heebie-jeebies because his analyzer is just doing this. Every time I set a new goal, his analyzer is like, cannot compute, not physically able to achieve. And I'm like, watch me. Watch me. Because when we set ourselves in limitations and we put ourselves in this box, we're in a limiting conversation. But when we make a declaration that's totally unachievable, totally outrageous, probably unrealistic, highly improbable, we're setting the bar here, and we're able to work and be diligent and rigorous and get ourselves to achieve it or renegotiate. And maybe we've only achieved this much, but if we're able to renegotiate before the commitment is due, we're in the clear. So I encourage you guys, if your word right now is not gold, if you continually make promises to yourself, for example, the easiest one I can think of is the snooze button on your phone. If you are one of those people that sets your alarm at 6 a.m. and snoozes until 7:15 times, you are out of integrity on your word. If you are constantly the person who makes plans and then bails on those plans when a better plan arises, you are out of integrity of your word. That happens here in San Diego quite often. If you run 5 minutes late consistently to every meeting that you have, you are out of integrity of your word. If you are constantly overpromising and underdelivering, I see this all the time in real estate with my colleagues and people that I get to do business with. If you continually overpromise and underdeliver, you are out of integrity of your word. So my friends, it's as simple as that. If there is literally anything that is coming out of your mouth, crossing your lips and going into the air that you are not achieving and that you are out of integrity on, you get to lock that shit down. You get to be in integrity with your word. Because I promise you, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And as soon as you start compromising your word and compromising the integrity of your word with even just one or two people, that shit will seep into every aspect of your life. And you don't get to do that to yourself. That is a recipe for failure and disaster. That is setting yourself up for a disaster. Because the second you start really losing commitments to yourself, for example, like with the alarm, that's one that I see often with students that I coach and I mentor. If you are struggling with something as simple as the snooze button, you get to check yourself and you get to see where else you're out of integrity on your word. How many other broken promises do you have to yourself and to other people in your life? Where else is this showing up? Because if it's showing up in even one spot, if you are a serial snoozer, this I can guarantee you it's showing up in other areas of your life, and I am committed to helping you find those areas. So if you are in a total blind spot, you have no idea where else this is showing up in your life, but you are a serial snoozer and that's you in the morning like, oh my goodness, no. And you're just like in snooze land. We get to connect on that and see where else it's showing up in your life, because I would bet money on it that it's showing up somewhere else. Let's see what you guys are saying as you watch. Alex, thanks guys for watching. Lisa, oh, it's so good to see you guys on here. Lisa, Felisa, ooh, my Lisas and Felisas are on here. Hey, Yai, so proud of you. In my time, our word was, signed contract. I think that's what you're saying. Yeah, word, that's what I tell my clients. Like, my word is gold. My handshake agreement is like, it should hold up in court, basically, because that's how good my word is. Anybody that knows me knows that my word is like primo shit, because I am in integrity with what comes out of my mouth. So I encourage you guys, I hope you enjoy watching this. If you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. You inspire me every single day, and I am so excited to be here with you in this space and to be sharing this time with you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks, Yaya, my grandma, Eva. She's this hot Facebook babe over here. She's like so Facebook proficient. I'm so proud of her. This is how we keep in touch. The Facebook, right, guys? All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a great Thursday, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, and check out my cool marble and gold nails. Marble and gold.